changed it?
Well, you sent me privacy, but I have.
Oh, the interior is sick.
There, you can see yet.
Yes, believe me. Yeah. It's unbelievable. You forgot.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, she's not even letting me drive it. I've driven it one time. But she's real happy.
That is so nice.
It's a sound electric. It's a sound electric.
Flipped it to sport mode yet?
No, she hasn't. She's kind of afraid of that. But, we're going on a trip, so
Well, then where are you guys
that's,
going?
we're going to Lake Placid. The West and
Nice.
Yeah, we'll do a little trip. That's one of the, I just think
What was it?
she traded in.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, my God. And then she financed to us 0%, 1,000 a month for 36 months. Didn't even have to go in and pay a penny. It's crazy.
That's such a sweet car, man. I mean, it's 2018 is nice, but I can't imagine 2024 is.
Yeah, you gotta take a look.
I definitely do. Hello, how are you? Good, how are you?
Oh, did you read that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
If she needs any witnesses, I have some good stuff to tell.
Okay.
I'll let her know. I remember when she was.
Thanks, Erica. You're welcome.
She's a senior. I'm sure you get
Called her up and said, no, it was on the tourist commission. But I was removed from the commission without being told.
Okay, I mean.
Their license and all that.
Yeah, their
The way
license
this
and
guy now,
everything.
oh, it jumped over the fence, right?
You jumped over their front,
He doesn't tell you.
He doesn't tell you the building, never send an email.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have one of them teach me. There's only, come on, go right at her neck.
What kind of dog? Oh, yours is a what? Somewhere like that, somewhere like that.
I know. So, I mean, one thing about her, one thing you go after one way as possible, another thing is right there, you know? So,
Yeah.
but anyway, they did pay the bill. So she's feeling, and she doesn't seem to have any, she still walks by dogs.
They seem friendly, the people. Oh, they're older? Was it maybe like a rescue dog or something for her?
No.
Oh, it's all
That's the only thing of interest for the last 2 items.
Except maybe they're a rescue. Yeah, they're, one king out there, really, he's got, pretty cool top front, his little dogs. Super nice dog.
I mean, they're gonna hurt
They're
you.
not gonna look it up.
No, they're not. So, that's a problem.
Life's not to be here in person.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, the one and a half? Oh, okay. No, I'd like to consider.
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Jane.
Hey, Erica. Hey, Jane. How's it going? Good, good. I'm 1 year older today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Hello, Chief. I'm doing just
Hey,
okay.
Paul.
How you doing?
Wait, I have it early.
Oh, I am?
I had on my schedule.
Oh,
come back for a visit.
Maybe a quickie.
All right, good. I'm looking for, I don't know if I'm.
I need
It
to.
was yesterday. It was yesterday.
And issue.
But I did enjoy it because.
Doing great. There's issues.
I know, yeah, there's so much. I'm okay. Well, I think you're just.
No, I don't want you.
Yeah. Right.
I have a heat through the ball.
I am not. I've been gone.
Okay. We got this, we got that.
Yeah, he has a big.
Hello, how are you? I need ball today. Today I was leaving the garage. Hot day here.
Hey, Nancy.
Hey man, I'm doing good, man.
I wanted to, but
That's okay. Thank you for the message today. It was so sweet.
you didn't get to BJ's.
No,
It's the best gig ever.
I gotta look at it.
It's free.
Yeah.
Hey John, how are you? I got your email, and I will do it.
In my case.
Was it right
I got a lot going on right
Was
now.
it right to copy Michelle, because you had said?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank
And
you.
I will-
I got 2 more years of it, so when I get
I
back
did.
together, I'll
I got
send
a
out
carrot
an email,
cake
but-
this morning.
No worries.
6 and 1 on it.
Not there long enough.
Yeah, that's my favorite. 16, yep.
Still
Big
running back
kiss.
from my foot surgery.
tree.
I
That's one if they would.
Right.
So your wife have.
But I'm only, I think also with, great merchants down in Hollywood too. No.
Michelle, all right. Ready?
Ready. Do I start?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's on Zoom.
Okay, so, everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America,
Pledge allegiance to the flag
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
I wish to announce that the 48-hour notice is required under the Open Public Meetings Act was emailed to the Asbury Park Press, the Co-Star, and the New Co-Star on December the 7th of 2023. That a copy has been placed on the bulletin board in the borough office and that a copy has been filed with the municipal clerk. As a courtesy to the public, this meeting may be attended via Zoom. If for any reason the Zoom portion of this meeting fails or is disconnected, the in-person meeting will continue and action can and will be taken, providing that there is an in-person quorum. Mr. Noble?
Here.
Mr. Gubatose?
Here.
Ms. Mahoney?
Here.
Mr. Weber?
Here.
Mayor Fox?
Here. Okay, thank you all for coming tonight. I'm remote, but hopefully move all of those smoothly. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
15th meeting of the year. As I have said in the past and will continue to say, I want to emphasize that we should welcome disagreement in these meetings, and that's the way things get worked through and different perspectives are shown. We want a brighter Bradley Beach. Everybody in this room wants a brighter Bradley Beach. I'd ask everyone to gauge their tone going forward. We're all neighbors. Civility and decency should be an underpinning of these meetings. So with that, I'll move to workshops. We have none today. Our next workshop will be on the September 11th meeting, and I believe we're going to have the beach covered, which will be good because we'll have most of the statistics in for the year, if not all, and they should look very good. There are no presentations and bids at this time, so I'll move to the approval of the minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the July 24th, 2024 council business meeting minutes.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Secondly, I'd like to make a motion to approve the July 24th, 2024 executive session meeting minutes.
Second.
Can I get a second for that?
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Okay. I wanted to see if, at this time, if we, I wanted a motion, if we could move 2024-86 up in the agenda for a vote, and out of the individual resolution section of the agenda. I hadn't had a chance to really talk to the council about that. I don't know if they have a problem with it, or they'd like to leave it where it is, but I'd like to make a motion at least to move that up.
Mr. Mayor, I believe we have to open it to the public right now for comments on the agenda.
I was making a motion to move it up, Council President.
Is there a second?
For the policy comments?
I don't know, but I mean, like, are we voting actually?
Larry, you want to
Where?
move it up before public comments?
Yeah,
You can't do that.
Can we do that?
Come on.
There's a second, there's not gonna be a second.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, Ms. DeNoble?
No.
Mr. Vituzzi?
I'm fine with moving it up, but it has to be after public comment.
Ms. Mahoney?
No.
Mr. Weber?
No.
Mayor Fox?
yes. Okay, we'll move to public comments and questions pertaining to the 8/28 agenda. Are there any?
Shauna?
Shauna Greenblatt Janoff, 414 Monmouth Avenue. This is with regard to 2024-86, the introduction of the 2024 municipal budget. I'm just wondering if in the past month, between the last meeting in July and this meeting, there's been any meaningful collaboration between the council and the team that's working on the budget, including the CFO, the mayor, the BA. That's a question.
Mr. Mayor, I believe she's
I-
addressing it to you.
Yeah, I believe there's been one or two emails, primarily I think from Councilwoman,
Mahoney.
no, I'm not sure if there was or not. I think just from Councilwoman Mahoney. I was just trying to recall if I had any other correspondence with Councilman Gubitosi or Councilman Weber. I know that I didn't have any with Council President Noble, but Councilwoman Mahoney has had a couple of emails back and forth.
So there have been questions and answers to the questions that help to bring the introduction forward? I guess I'm asking the mayor and the council.
Isn't your question, have we had conversation with the CFO?
With the team. The team is the
The quick
CFO,
answer-
the mayor, and the
answer is
BA.
no.
No? So not one
To me,
council
it's
person?
Answer's no. I think Councilwoman Mahoney could explain whatever her correspondence was, but I don't think it was substantive.
I asked a few questions. I received a few answers that were somewhat ambiguous to me. I did ask why we couldn't speak to the CFO. I was told that was the way I phrased my question was inappropriate. Basically, though, I just asked why we couldn't speak to somebody who we hired who had particular acumen. I was told that was inappropriate. I had asked a few detailed questions on the numbers that had changed recently, because the numbers have changed for the current, the beach and the sewer fund. I received some answers, and I'll have a statement this evening. But no, the answers haven't gotten me any farther.
And Jane, you as well?
What I try to do, I don't want to be redundant, and I read the emails, we are CC'd on it, so again, I just let the other person, I'm asking the same questions that they are, and I've received no answers, the same as Kristen and Councilwoman Mahoney, I should say. So no, there's no, on my end, no progress.
Okay, well, I asked the question because I'm asking not just for my own self personally, but I'm asking for all of the residents and taxpayers of Bradley Beach who are concerned about this budget. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Meadow?
Nancy Meadow, Ocean Park Condominiums. I'm here as a resident, not part of an action. The bill list was quite lengthy because it's kind of like a double bill list, so I'm not going to go through every page because quite honestly, I lost attention on page 18. But there were a few things that caught my eye. Some were a lot of money, some were small, but again, I thought the goal was to cut back. So we spent $195 repairing a refrigerator in the Ghazi Center. That seemed like an awful lot of money for me, and I can't imagine who uses it in August because the senior club nice to know how and why that's being spent. We seem to be spending.
That's for Meals on Wheels.
Okay. Are they actually part of us? I mean, shouldn't they pay for their own refrigerator? Well, I don't want to waste my 5 minutes. We seem to be spending a lot for the lifeguards, including breaking a door on Cliff Avenue. We're still giving Bagel Talk our business at $137 per week of carbs and dinner business that's not in our town, which would also bring me to, I'll get to you later. And we got the CME bill, which includes the 1 hour and 15 minutes that they actually participated in a meeting in June, but not the other 3 and some odd hours that they just sat here. Employment Council with Bernstein, we've got nothing going here with Local 152. It's quite offensive to have $2,200. And the ethics course, is that for all of the employees? I can't imagine because it's just $50. So I think it's great that people would take a course in ethics. We can always learn from that. But it would be nice to know your department. We are paying $550 for parking meters per month. I remember we used to collect our own quarters and bring them over to the bank. That's a lot of money that's being given away per month. Who is Kittrick Law Firm? And we paid legal fees for the theater.
The land use board attorney.
Land use board. So are they in interior work? Or do they need a land use board for it?
The land use board, they have an attorney, we need to pay the attorney. Change of use, so.
Pardon?
Every movie theater,
Yeah,
that's a service.
the inside?
Change of use.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. The back end, $17,000. I can't imagine what for. So summer, is it not? New Jersey Natural Gas, $900. I can give you the I'm sorry, just trying to go quicker. And then we have my favorite, Prime Point. Remainder July, $1,600, and for August, $3,300. That's the payroll service. So I don't understand how we could have a remainder, because quite honestly, every payroll company I've ever dealt with automatically debits your account. You can't do business with them or not. So this is supposed to be free, and now we have 2 bills. Partial one is $1,600. I find this all peculiar, not normal, suspect. I'd like to know who we sent to Rutgers to learn about accounting. That's really frightening to me. Equally frightening, I don't see any payroll taxes being paid. Regular taxes to the IRS is paid at the end of, is paid on the 15th of every month. And $977 in office supplies, but it doesn't say what department. So we have data entry problems, don't blame everything on Edmonds, it's only as good as the person doing the entry. And really scary is when I drove by the rec center on a Friday morning and saw an inflatable house. Right after reading about the one that killed people because it went out and went. So we're paying $1,768 for that, which in my personal opinion opens us to a lot of liability because we cannot predict nature. And I don't understand, and this is all what it comes back to. This list and other issues is the lack of standards in this town. And if we have standards, then we don't adhere to them. But I don't see anyone protecting this town. It is very, very frightening. So while you all pass this bill list, because I know you will, I think the questions need to be asked on all of these items, especially in my opinion, the payroll issues, which, how many times do I have to say it, we don't take action?
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Moses.
Is the VA here to answer any questions that we have?
She's not here.
Thomas J. Coan, 612 3rd Avenue. I do want to compliment the council on 2024-68, the Sylvan Lake Restoration Team support. Giving them support, I attended the meeting here for Sylvan Lake with people from Avon, Spring Lake, and Bradley Beach to share ideas. It was a very motivational meeting. It was a full house. So I'm so was attempted to be put on the agenda without public comment, I'd like to say I would vote no. We still don't have a corrective action plan from 2022 audit, which was horrific. So I don't know why Mayor Fox and his administrative team are not being fined for not supplying that. We don't have the 2023 annual financial statement, which was due March 30th. I don't understand why Mayor Fox and his team is not being fined for that. We don't have the 2023 audit, which was due July 1st. I don't understand why Mayor Fox and his team are not being fined for that. But I understand that you council members are being fined $25 a day. Don't make it about the money. Make it about us. Because what you're doing is standing up for us. And we appreciate this as taxpayers. You're exposing a flaw in the state of New Jersey system. I've sent letters to the DCA, I've sent complaints, I've sent them to the auditor, I've sent them to the AG's office, I've sent them to the comptroller. You know what you get? You get nothing. There are no police. You're the police. And we'd appreciate it if you voted no on this budget. Thank you.
Yeah, just a correction, Mr. Cohen, the 2023 AFS was filed by the CFO
When was it filed, sir?
earlier this week.
Oh, it's not on the website, so how would we know? Has it been delivered to the council?
I don't know.
Wait, you don't know?
I've been out of town, so I don't know.
You don't know if it's been delivered to the council. The BA is not here to answer any questions.
I don't know what's in it.
Mr. Cohen, none of us received it.
Thank you, thank you. But vote on the budget tonight, because it's okay. He said it's okay. Thank you, sir.
Mr.
Thank
Titus?
you. Any other questions?
Yes. Mr. Titus?
This is Julie Titus, 605 North Avenue. My question in regards to the budget is for Mayor Fox. Mayor Fox, why is it that you will not allow the council to have access to the CFO? Can you please just inform the residents once and for all why you will not allow them to talk to the CFO?
It's not a function of me not allowing the CFO to have access to the council. The CFO is opted not to meet privately. He wants to meet in an open forum.
What do you mean by an open forum? In front of who?
A hearing, the budget hearing or a budget introduction.
No. There are so many unanswered questions, and the fact of the matter is that our budget, well, our audit from 2022 has found $1 million missing, and also federal COVID dollars are missing. And also, Mr. Mayor, this is under your watch. And also, they put in there that there is, I believe it's, materials misstatement? That has something to do with fraud, I believe. I don't know what the exact verbiage is for that. So, when you put all this stuff together and to think that the CFO just filed our 2023 AF statement this week, which nobody knows about, Mr. Gartz, first of all, is paid by the borough. He's an employee of the borough. Now, you tout your J&J experience all the time. You've gone through budget processing, right? You worked with
I think you tout the J&J experience more than I do.
Well, because
I think I answered your question.
No, you didn't, and I still have a question, and you can't stop me from talking. So here's the thing.
I'm not trying to stop you from talking.
Anybody
I'm just
who
saying
is,
that-
I'm gonna get back time if you keep talking over me, please. Okay, so
I'm
in the
not trying to talk over you,
corporate
but I just
world, doing a budget process, the head of the department meets with their business analyst. Their business analyst and the business head, they sit down, they discuss, they hammer out their debits, their credits, their payroll, everything operating costs. Then you go and you sit with your controller. From then you go and you answer more questions. Controller will have questions, you will have questions. When that is all ironed out, right, then you go in front of the CFO. So there's a process before something gets approved, and I believe, you've gone through this many times. So why is it that you, Mr. Mayor, and Mr. Gartz then are interfering with duly elected officials that are here to represent the people in regards to a budget and our financial mismanagement. Who in their right mind would sign off of something that doesn't reconcile? Would any of us sign off on our taxes that were not correct? Would you sign off when you're J&J? Would you sign off in a budget that wasn't correct? No, you wouldn't. So why are you punishing the residents of Bradley Beach? You are in essence punishing us because you are angry, because you are not getting your way. So sir, you know, on January 1st, 2021, you stood up here at the reorganization meeting. You put your hands on a Bible that was held by your wife, and you took an oath of office to be of service to Bradley Beach. This is not service. This is playing political games and a vendetta. We need you to step up to the plate for the next couple of months that you are here and do your job. This is not right. And the fact of the matter is our council is being fined. Guess what? The residents here will have a GoFundMe and will be happy to help. But this nonsense has got to stop. And you say in the beginning of a meeting, everyone gauge your tone and we all have to work together and collaborate in this. Maybe you have to start practicing what you preach. Because, and sir, I know you're ignoring me and not even looking at me, once again.
Well, I'm not ignoring you, I'm taking notes.
Okay, so when will you have Mr. Gartz talk to the council so that you can be in the business of providing service to the residents and let's get this budget done? Because this budget affects everything. We have Local 152 that's still not done. We have so many different things that have to go through this budget, our taxes, our property taxes. So you have to do your job. That is what we are asking you to do. Are you going to do it? Can we have a meeting? Can the council have a meeting? Thank you. I hope someone picks this up. Let's hold them accountable.
Thank you.
Mia Mullen, 302 4th Avenue. When was the council going to know about the filing of the 2023 AFS, I'm saying the initials right? Today's Wednesday, you said it was filed on Monday.
I believe it was filed on late Monday, I think it was night Monday.
Monday,
somewhere around there, yeah.
Monday. When would they be notified?
After they testify.
I'll ask the CFO to forward that. I've been out of town, I'm sorry.
Maybe the BA, who hasn't been at a meeting, I think all summer, I might be exaggerating, so I apologize for that. The meetings I've been to, the BA is not here. I think the public would like to know if it's a personal reason, a professional reason. Maybe she can't work the extended hours, which is a requirement of the BA. We're all here tonight, and if she can't manage those hours, totally understandable. But she can't be a BA and not show up for these meetings when she is also serving the public.
The BA is not required to be at a meeting. The clerk and the municipal attorney are.
Okay, I've lived in Bradley Beach for a short time compared to many of these people here, but for the 9 years that I've been here, the BA has been at every meeting, so I guess you're setting a new precedent with your leniency. Anyway, I know you're trying to introduce the budget at tonight's meeting. This is redundant. Our last meeting was on July 24th. So whatever I say here could be redundant, but this whole process has become non-existent, really. However, so at the June 26th meeting, you said it was the first time you were hearing about a $222,000 budget gap from the reporting tabs that council received and had questioned months before that. You were asked at the last council meeting why the council was never provided with an answer as to why such a large discrepancy. It's now been well over a month. Have you been able to provide the council with the answer to their question, and if not, how can a budget be voted on given this discrepancy? This is the $222,000 question.
Yeah, I believe that was answered, and the primary reason was there was a subsidiary document that's been used out of our ledger system that doesn't aggregate, but the line items are correct. The line items are what's in the state form. The state forms are correct, the budget is correct. So I believe that was explained in an email some time ago.
Do the People's Council know this? Were they provided with this explanation?
Yeah, it was sent to the council.
I'd ask the
I did not
council.
see that. Did anyone else see it?
It was sent to Councilwoman Mahoney. And I assume, I don't know if other people commented or not, I know it was sent to her, because she's the one who asked the question.
You explained 2/3 or 1/3 of the discrepancy, saying that Edmonds counts the numbers twice, and you said there was a problem with the Edmonds system, Mayor. You didn't explain.
The way it aggregates, correct.
The way it aggregates, correct. You did not explain what accounted for the rest of the difference, and that's why the last meeting.
I believe we took the big variance, and I think we explained about 154,000 of it. Said to go into the other detail would be to have to go into every line item, not every line item, but every line item control total. And it just wasn't productive because we knew what the answer to the question was. That's why it wasn't aggregated. It doesn't aggregate correctly. So, as I said, the line items are correct, the state forms are correct.
And that's what I keep saying is every time, and then the numbers change. And you've given us less and less information each time because now we've been moved down to 2 PDFs.
The only time the numbers have changed is when the CFO, if there are adjustments going forward, if interest rates change, if bond rates change, we were able to collect more interest income.
I don't mean to interrupt, I'm gonna run out of time. I appreciate you.
Of about $100,000, and we offset some areas that were concerned by the council, so I'm not sure who's.
Mayor Fox, I hate
Sorry.
to, I hear you, and I'm saying that I wanted to interrupt you only because I don't want to run out of my time, and a lot of what you're saying is not making sense to the public or to Councilwoman Mahoney. I need that 30 seconds back. I don't need the answer to my next question, I just need to pose it.
Finish your statement. I cannot add time.
Well, I asked him to silence himself, and he
You can
didn't.
finish, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
So also at our last meeting, Councilwoman Mahoney had pointed out that the budget was based on appropriated expenses and not based on actual spend from the previous year. Has the methodology for preparing the budget been revised to meeting basic standards of creating a budget?
I'm sorry, I don't understand that question.
Obviously.
I'm sorry.
Do you guys?
Any other questions?
Yes, hold on.
Hi, Mary Backstrom, 218 Fourth Avenue. And Mayor, I want my full-time, I'm not saying I need it, I might yield some of it, but I'd ask you not to talk over me or eat into my time in any material way. At almost every council meeting, you have made the point that you are a strong mayor under the Faulkner Act, and that is what we have here. So that effectively means you're the CEO of Bradley Beach. And you have a senior committee, including the people in front of me on council, the VA, the CFO, the head of public, et cetera, So it defies reality to say that Ricky, our CFO, won't show up and talk to council members so they can ask simple questions. That is in your control. That is absolutely in your control. And it's an insult to us that you keep saying that. Nobody believes you. Let me just make that clear. Secondly, I do have concerns about the VA. I don't have issues with her personally. She hasn't been here since May. And I don't know what's going on. It's not my business. Is she on an official leave of absence? Why isn't she here? There's no one to answer basic questions. Again, this is not a well-functioning, body under the strong mayor format. So, every time anybody asks questions, You either talk over them, including the council, by the way, you won't even answer their questions. And finally, I'd like to ask, since nobody's seen the budget, how much are our taxes gonna be going up this year, based on the budget that no one's seen?
The mayor's roughly
Can I
communicated
speak?
3.5%.
Yes, you can, absolutely.
Yeah, 3.39% is the current calculation. It really hasn't changed in probably the last month or so. It changed marginally. It started out at 3.59%. It went to 3.74%, and it's now at 3.39%. What I just stated to the prior resident was that we were able to enjoy some interest income on the bonds we had acquired last year. And we used some of that money to drop into the budget, and others just be a little bit more conservative with a few line items. So the number is 3.39%. And now, having said that, that's the municipal levy. The total tax bill, we still have not received all the numbers from the county
Mr.
at
Mayor,
this time, so it could
thank you.
change.
I'm
But
gonna take
that's
my
the
time
municipal
back.
levy. Well, we have control over the
I'm
street.
taking my time back, but thank you for that. I guess I would have asked the council, do they think that number, I forget it's 3.7, 3.9, do you think it's accurate? But I'm not even sure you can answer that question because you haven't seen the budget yet. And my fear is, residents of Bradley Beach, it doesn't matter who's gonna be mayor next January, are going to be in for a nasty surprise, like we were last year, where our taxes went up double digits. And and again, these are concerns that not just the council have, not just the faction have, but the entire residents of Bradley Beach. This cuts close to home, double-digit increases last year. This year, you say it's under 4%. You know, that's not great in my point of view, but I could live with it, but I don't know if it's actually gonna be 4%, and no one else can answer it, except possibly for the elusive Ricky, who is the CFO. Thank you.
Yeah, just another point. The council has about a 60-page document, and in addition to that, it's probably about a 6 or 7-page summary document that the CFO put together. But the state forms, I believe it's about 60 pages, has the detail of the tax levy, the utilities, both sewer and beach, and the council's had that since, I want to say, the April timeframe. Again, it's changed a couple of times, but the percent's been from 359 to 374 to 339. So it's not been like swinging by a lot of percents or anything like that.
There's no question for the residents. The council has a copy of the budget, so the mayor's correct. The problem has been, and we've said this for 4 months, we don't understand it, and the questions we've asked, we don't feel have been responded to appropriately. There have been responses. A lot of them are embarrassingly simple and not accurate. The one I quoted before, I'm going to give it again just because it's one of the most embarrassing responses I've ever heard, and it cannot have been from Mr. Gartz. Had to have been from someone else in the mayor's team. I have it in writing. How do we justify moving revenue from our meters in the beach to the current fund in this 2024 budget? And the answer given, and this is an example of what we see on a lot of answers, the answer was, we can discuss this in 2025. That was the answer. So when the mayor tells the world that he's answered our questions, he's responded, but please do not believe we are comfortable with this budget. We've seen the budget, we've analyzed the budget, but we can't get answers to our questions.
Regine McGuire, 610 Brinley Ave. I would like to urge the council to vote down the introduction of the budget. After what we just saw again here tonight, I mean, this is pretty regular. We could pretty much run a meeting on our own here since we have no BA who's ever here to do her job. Interestingly, the 2025 comment about getting information, discussing in 2025, now knowing the mayor's not running for re-election, is pretty hilarious.
So that speaks for itself. I would like to ask Mayor Fox, did Mr. Fehrenbach do the budget?
Oh, sorry. No, Mr. Fehrenbach was on the team, but he did not do the budget. It was a combination of, I think, the core, I think we told people this, the core group was the CFO, the borough administrator, myself, and Mr. Fehrenbach. And the assistant CFO provided a lot of the analytics.
Who's the assistant CFO?
Allison Gatlin.
Oh, okay. When was that announced at a council meeting?
She's been in that role for, I don't know, coming up on 2 years.
Okay, news to me. So if Mr. Gartz has not answered the questions about the budget and only submitted the AFS for 2023 just this past Monday, how was a budget even compiled without those financials?
The balances that Mr. Gartz had used for the budget were numbers that he had. The complete, what was submitted earlier this week was the complete AFS, but the balances he needed to do the 2024 budget were correct, and the fund balances that he had provided back in, I want to say it was April 10th, right around there, were unchanged. I asked him that question, I emailed him with that question and said they were unchanged, so.
Okay, so how were they correct if there was a $222,000 discrepancy?
There isn't a $222,000 discrepancy.
Maybe not now, but there was.
No, there wasn't, I'm sorry.
When Ms. Mullen was just up here, you mentioned that there were discrepancies. So now you're saying something differently.
What I said was that there's a subsidiary tab in Edmonds that doesn't aggregate totals correctly. The line items in Edmonds are correct. The line items in Edmonds are what are reflected in the state form, and that hasn't changed.
Okay, so
As I
why
said,
are we still using Edmonds? Why are we still
Sorry?
using Edmonds if it's Edmonds' fault?
Everyone, Edmonds, the primary, that's the secondary use of Edmonds. The primary use of Edmonds is the financial ledger system, and it houses our balance sheet.
This doesn't seem to be in New
Exactly.
Jersey state news
Every
that everyone's
municipality
budget is not
is-
aggregated correctly in Edmonds. I would
No,
imagine that
that's
that would be
that's-
state news if that was a huge problem in everyone's budget. Most towns have a budget passed already, had an AFS filed on time, not this past Monday, had an audit already filed on time, don't have material misstatements in their prior audit, don't have over $2 million unrecorded or overspent, don't commingle funds with their beach. We have an issue here, Mayor Fox. And you could keep filling in the time with your answers that mean nothing. Please vote down the introduction to the budget.
Thank you.
We have one more comment.
Okay.
Cindy LeCandra, 218 Fourth. Since it seems as it's news that we have an assistant CFO that even all of you don't know about, what is her normal daily position? Does anybody know?
She's primarily she's primarily the payroll. She started out in payroll, but she's also moved into accounts payable, and basically, I'm not sure what her title is, they shifted her title, but she's been taking on more and more responsibility over the last 2 years.
So we have a data entry clerk that is now an assistant CFO, more or less?
No, that's a misstatement, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yes, I believe Nancy brought it up, and this is a question perhaps for you, Erica. Do I need to Oprah you to find out exactly who that accounting course was paid for? Okay. You know.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Because the fact that there is a Rutgers intro to accounting class, like she said, is frightening. And we all have a good chance of who we may or may not think is taking that course.
Who knows, maybe course, maybe class is happening now, never know. That's sinful. But since we do have an assistant CFO, and since the, arrogant CFO does not want to meet with our council, is there any reason why the council cannot sit with the assistant CFO to get all of their answers fully vetted and answered the way they would like to? Mr. Mayor?
No, that's not appropriate.
And in what essence would you want to define that that is not appropriate? For what reason?
I'll just leave it, it's not appropriate. Thank you.
Well, the one thing I can say, Larry, is thank you for not running. You wouldn't have won anyway. Your minions that you are putting up for slaughter, I feel for them because they will only have the wrath of what you've left them. And that's unfortunate, because nobody deserves what you have left. The fact that honestly, Al Gubatosi is even wanting to run to help fix this abysmal town is more than extraordinary. And I hope that every voter here puts everything that they have aside. We are a nonpartisan town. That you do the right thing, and that you demand the next mayor have the business acumen, the legal acumen, to run this town successfully. And for those that
Thank you.
may still be beholden to you, you can be quiet, I'm not talking to you. Jesus. This town deserves more. Mr. Weber, Ms. Mahoney, Mr. Gubatosi, Mr. Noble, we applaud you. We thank you. We know it is an endless job that you are doing. We ask that you stay the course. We ask that you continue to not pass the budget. And yes, we will all gladly create a GoFundMe to cover your costs of being billed every day. Since interestingly enough, Larry Fox is not being billed on it. So please hold to your guns, please hold to your morals and your values, and please continue to stand up, and we will stand behind you. Thank you.
Any other questions
Okay.
or comments? Any hands on Zoom? No. Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, again, I think Councilman Gubatosi was okay with me moving that motion up, 2024-86.
I'll second your earlier motion.
Mr. Noble?
No.
Mr. Gubatosi?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
I'll vote,
Mr. Weber?
jump with the gun, I'll vote yes as well.
Mayor Fox?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll make a motion to, I'm sorry, to.
Discussion first, Mr. Mayor.
Sorry?
Discussion first, please.
I'm sorry, Councilman, you broke up.
Go ahead, continue with your motion, sir, sorry.
Yeah, when we come up,
Go ahead.
We were just looking to discuss this before you make a motion, but if you'd like to make a motion first, that would be fine, and we'll discuss it after you make a motion.
yeah, make a motion, 2024-86, introduction of 2024 municipal budget by title only. Somebody wants to comment?
Yes. Councilman Gubatosi, would you like to begin?
Yes, I absolutely don't mind beginning. It's more a question of knowing where to start. So just, I'd like to say a couple quick things in response to the comments we've heard tonight. I understand and I appreciate a lot of people's frustration. Clearly, you can only imagine how frustrating this process has been for the council. But I would just ask everyone going forward to focus your frustration on the mayor. Whether it be other employees who might be, unfortunately within his realm of accusations. I would encourage you all to not focus on anyone other than the mayor. The mayor's responsible. Good or bad, the mayor's responsible. I was surprised. I do have a couple prepared.
Pardon me, Mr. Gupatosi. Mr. Fox, Mayor Fox, have you left the meeting? I don't see you.
I haven't left the meeting now.
Okay, your picture was gone. Could you stay on camera, please?
It's okay. Honestly,
It's gotta be on camera. Okay.
it's fine. It's fine.
No, that's
He
not.
has to be on camera. I'm sorry. We don't.
We have
No, we're just continue. If I was on the telephone, I wouldn't be on camera.
Well, you're supposed to be on camera. This isn't how it is.
I'm just,
I'm sorry.
Council President, I'd like to
Okay,
just.
I'm sorry. I'm Mark. I just want to make sure you're still.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just making sure. I thought we lost you.
So number one, to the extent you have frustrations, please target them where they belong. We've talked so many months about the definition of insanity, and I feel for everyone in this audience, I feel for anyone watching on Zoom. The definition of insanity continues until tonight. We are all going to be discussing changes as we move forward. But even listening to your concerns tonight, I feel for our residents, and hopefully the council have a plan to move forward to just make the situation better. As you're aware, we are being fined. The council's being fined by the DCA. I was actually surprised to hear, Mr. Mayor, maybe you can confirm this, that it's the 4 council members seated here that are being fined $25 a day, but is it true that you are not being fined, sir?
Yeah, that's correct. I voted favorably for the introduction each time. It's the failure to introduce with a vote is the basis of the fine.
Okay, so you voted for your own budget, and therefore that gave you cover. I get it. Okay.
Really?
I'm trying to be very polite here, sir. I'm measuring my words as you ask us to do at the beginning of every meeting.
Yeah, well, when people tell people to target me, Councilman, that's not really.
Oh, it's not a target. Not what he said.
You're the mayor of the borough, sir. I'm telling them, bring their concerns directly to you and not to the employees around you.
I'm just using your word. Councilman.
He did not use the word target.
That is fine.
Yeah.
My second question is, can you provide us the AFS that magically has been filed? I'm thrilled to hear it's been filed. I happened to look at the website before coming to the meeting. It's not posted on the website, nor was it delivered to the council. But let me remind everyone, last year's AFS, when it was filed, was outrageously incorrect, citing that we had $7 million of cash in our bank accounts when in fact we had $4 million, telling us that we had replenished 700,000 of surplus when in fact we replenished virtually nothing. So don't everyone yell hallelujah all at once because we filed an AFS. The AFS is a relatively meaningless financial statement as demonstrated by the AFS we filed, the borough filed for 2022. My question, Mr. Mayor, is when do we expect the 2023 audit report? An audit would be a much more formal documentation of 2023's results. Do you have a timing for the 2023 audit report?
I know that Mr. Gartz and Mr. Oliver have started the process. I can get you that date. I don't have that date in front of me, but Mr. Oliver was pretty confident that he could get it done once he had the AFS in a matter of weeks.
Okay, when did you get this assurance from Mr. Holloway and Mr. Gartz?
earlier this week. Oh, yes, what's today, Wednesday, Tuesday, yesterday I talked to Mr. Oliver.
Okay, because and he's confident he can get you the information in a couple of weeks. Did he tell you why it's taking Mr. Oliver this long to get us, to get working on the audit or to have the audit ready for delivery? What is he waiting for?
Well, one of the things, he needed the AFS.
Okay. Does he need the financial statements to conduct an audit? Does he need our financial statements?
I'm not understanding your question, Councilman.
Is Mr. Oliver, our auditor, currently working on our audit? It is the very end of August. We're 8 months into the new year. How far along is Mr. Oliver in conducting our audit for 2023?
As I said, he was waiting on the AFS, and Mr. Gartz had also sent him some sample bank reconciliation documents. I know that you mentioned that last week.
Mr. Mayor, the AFS is a financial report. We've already proven that it's a very lacking in credibility report at times, but an auditor comes in and evaluates our financial records, evaluates invoices, evaluates bank reconciliations, as you mentioned. An audit usually starts February or March. How far along is our audit? Is it 50%? Is it almost complete? I mean, he's not just waiting for an AFS. Is he waiting for anything else?
I'm not aware that he's waiting for anything else at this time.
Okay. And the reason I asked, I wanted to see if your understanding was different than my own, because I wrote to Mr. Oliwa, and on August 22nd, how many days ago? 6 days ago, Mr. Oliwa confirmed that our CFO informed him that he's in the process of finalizing the 2023 general ledger and compiling the borough's financial statements for audit. He said he does not.
I think what he meant by that was he was finalizing the AFS.
I think he's very, this is a professional who said, and I quote, that the auditor is, the CFO is in the process of finalizing the 2023 general ledger and is compiling the borough's financial statements for audit. He has not begun the audit, and what he told me in his email was he hopes to have it completed early to mid-October. And you just said moments ago he can deliver it within a few weeks of getting data, which you tell us is already complete. I can do that. That's the data you said he needs. And by your own words, he should have an audit report within 2 weeks. But he tells me it's early to mid-October.
Well, that's really a process. Well, then I will give Mr. Oliver a call and say what's changed from the fact that you said you could do it within a couple of weeks once you got the full statements.
He told me this 6 days ago, Mr. Mayor. So my point is not to be disruptive, which I'm often accused of. It's just that I'm trying to highlight the way we, the council, are often taught in circles. We don't get straight answers, and this is just another example of us not getting straight answers. Okay, I do have a formal statement. I apologize in advance. It's a little lengthy, but I want to make sure it is part of the public record, and it will be added to our minutes. This is my statement. I am very disappointed to report that the Commissioner of the Department of Community Affairs, Ms. Jacqueline Suarez, has decided to impose a $25 per day fine on members of this council who are working diligently to represent our residents. I don't know, well, at the time I wrote this, I still don't know if the daily fine includes weekend days or not. But the amount of this fine through today will be either.
It does.
It includes weekend days, okay. So it's not $725. The fine through today is $1,000 per council person. On July 18th, I wrote a letter to Ms. Suarez detailing the following. 1, horrible financial management by Mayor Fox's administration over the past 2 years, contributing to this council's distrust of the current budget process. This financial mismanagement resulted in the historically large loss of $1.6 million in our surplus over 2 years. This is a surplus that was built up over 30 years. We built it up to a point of $2.8 million, and in 2 years, we've cut it by more than half. Also, a historically high 2023 tax rate increase, which is still inadequate to cover the administration's spending, so we had to dip into our surplus as well. It also resulted in a 2022 audit report that was delivered in 2024 that documented the borough's financial mismanagement and lack of financial controls. It included a grossly in error filing of our annual financial statement for 2022 with the DCA, in which we reported the $7 million in cash, when in fact we only had $4 million actually on hand at the end of 22. I also included an email, I referenced in my letter, an email from our new CFO to Mayor Fox, and the new CFO documented his findings this year in 2023, that the financial records for 2023 have been problematic, quote unquote. And he noted many concerns that he is still attempting to correct in the 2023 data. 2023 data, ladies and gentlemen. And now we know that the borough's auditor has not yet been able to begin the 2023 audit because our 2023 financials are still being finalized as of 6 days ago. I also, in my letter, I made great effort to explain the absurd lack of cooperation by Mayor Fox since March of this year, including refusal to allow the council to speak with the CFO or to speak with our department heads. Documentation of statements made by the mayor's administration, not just the mayor, suggesting that we could not access the CFO for fear that he would be harassed by all 4 council members. Each one of us was actually named in an email. Somebody's buttering me out there, I'm not sure who it is. But I also noted documentation of examples of nonsensical answers provided to the council when the mayor's team responded to our questions. On August 23rd, it was a 5-page long letter loaded with factual content, loaded with references to specific email correspondence and so forth. On August 23rd, just last week, Ms. Suarez sent each council member, except the mayor, a personalized letter informing us of the implementation of the fine, retroactive to July 19th. She dismissed my letter of July 18th, stating that my letter, quote unquote, attempts to justify the council's failure to approve an introduced budget by stating that despite the chief municipal finance officers making a budget presentation to council on April 10th, and the council having been provided various financial information. Unfortunately, Ms. Suarez is clearly implying that she's decided to accept the mayor's explanations over those of this council, without making any effort to fact-check the 2 opposing perspectives. Ms. Suarez actually acknowledges the concerns that I raised about our unreliable financial data, and yet she decides that the council must blindly approve this budget for introduction. She acknowledges that my letter also cites, and this is a quote, it also cites the borough's calendar year 2022 audit comments. I did cite them and she read my citation. And prior failure to maintain adequate financial records. She acknowledges that. And she says, it is the division's understanding that the current CMFO has been working diligently to institute proper internal controls and bring the borough's financial records into order. She's acknowledging that I told her our financial structure is chaos. We are being given a budget based on data that has been created out of this chaos. And yet, despite all that, she she is forcing duly elected officials to blindly rely upon these same financial records in order to approve a budget for the public. I respect the role of the DCA, and I respect that it must be very difficult to evaluate each challenge that comes before them. I'm sure that Ms. Suarez is a very talented commissioner. However, in this one instance, she is simply wrong. It is wrong to implement sanctions against the very council people who are working long hours to honor our sworn oaths to represent and protect the public to the very best of our abilities. And what's more ironic, I'm told and now I have confirmed that Mayor Fox, who needs council approval and yet refuses to cooperate with any of the council's requests, is not subject to this daily fine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a prime example of bureaucratic failure in the state of New Jersey. Now, with regard to the vote, well, with regard to the vote to introduce the mayor's 2024 proposed budget tonight, I remind the public that the mayor has promised to make our CFO available to answer the council's questions, but only at budget adoption. Budget adoption is in 30 days, and depending on the vote of the council tonight, should we vote to introduce the budget, we will have an opportunity 30 days from now to ask if not sooner, to ask the CFO all of the questions in front of the public that we've been asking and hopefully get responses. I've said this from the beginning. I don't know if the budget is good or bad. I don't know if it's right or wrong because I'm not getting answers. So the CFO may answer our questions 30 days from now. And if he does, it may be as simple as, thank you for those answers, finally. Why did we wait 4 months? On the other hand, there may be questions that the CFO won't even know the answers to, and he'll need to do research and follow-up, and then we'll all have to wait longer, or we may have waited 30 days, and then we may have to vote no at the adoption. So the chaos and the insanity continues, but I for one, am prepared, I'll tip my hand a little, to push this forward, despite the pleas from a few of our residents tonight to not vote for implementation. I'm prepared to vote for implementation only to move us off the mark. It doesn't hurt that my financial penalties would stop tonight, but I think that is a terrible injustice perpetrated by the commissioner of the DCA. I don't think she looked at the facts. I don't think there's any way appropriate to be fining the council. All that said, it's just one more reason to move us all, including the mayor, off the mark, so we'll have an opportunity to question the CFO finally in public and get our answers. Thank you. That's my comment, long as it was.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other council comments?
I have a council comment. So the last time we met, I did say, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And so, just like Councilman Gubitosi said, we seem to be in that state right now. We're doing the same thing. We're turning our wheels. We keep asking questions, and we're getting nowhere. But we were promised that we would get a chance to speak to the CFO and ask him our questions once we introduce the budget. And as Councilman Gubitosi said, perhaps adopting this budget is the only way to get from where we are to where we need to be. That does not mean that we have to accept this budget in the end. It just means this might be our only way to get a chance to speak with the employee that we hired. The numbers for our budget continue to change. The current fund has gone from, according to what Mayor Fox says last week, was only adjusted by $240, not over $70K, which it was. On 4/19/24, the current fund was at $11,073,306. On 7/23, the number for the current fund was at $11,144,557. That's a difference of over $70,000. We are now relegated to using 2 PDFs as our backup information. One of them is 82 pages long. Yesterday, I asked for the 3 different state PDF forms to be sent to me, and well over 24 hours later, I have received no response. All I wanted was an email with 3 documents. I requested this of the mayor, the BA, Mr. Farrendock, and our CFO, and no one responded to send me those 3 documents. I wanted to give another example of the kind of answers to questions that we received when we were doing our preliminary questions. This was one of the questions that was asked by Councilman Gubitosi. So for instance, there is an employee whose line item had gone up 45%. And Councilman Gubitosi said, had questioned this and said, why is this going up over 45%? And what is the name of the employee? And whoever's doing the budget wrote back and gave the name. And Councilman Gubitosi said, thank you for the name of employee X, but why is it an increase of 45%? Because he only got half the answer. Did this person get promoted? Did this person contract to work for longer hours? Is this a 12-month budget versus a 10-month budget? E.g. a 20% increase? And then there was another response from the administration. He has been made part-time, and this is his estimated total cost for the year. Councilman Gubitosi, this does not appear to be an answer. The question regards an increase. The answer describes a decrease. The answer from the administration? The $4,500 reflects an actual expense in 2023. We had so many questions that were back and forth, where we never really got answers, or we got half answers, and then Councilman Gubitosi went back 4 or 5 times. But this is indicative. We'll answer it in 2025. Here's half an answer. There was an increase, but it represents a decrease. I don't know. On Friday, August 23rd, the DCA imposed a fine on this council of $25 a day for the failure to introduce the budget for the borough of Bradley Beach. In the letter I received, sadly, to my misspelled name, and I'm wondering if this gets me off the hook, but I doubt it, it stated, the Borough Council has an obligation to act on the municipal budget with the information available to it. And in that one statement, there's the catch, with the information available to it. Unfortunately, there are no guidelines provided as to what are good, useful, and ordinary information for a council that a council should receive when making decisions and amendments to annual budgets. Instead, a council is held hostage to the administration and the information the administration chooses to provide or withhold. When numbers become moving targets, questions go unanswered, or answers are evasive, I wonder to what lengths a council should go to protect the public they serve. In this case, it's to the length of incurring a fine of almost $1,000, or exactly. So, thank you. That's it today. Tomorrow will be even more. Council members are asked to rely on their professionals for their guidance. However, they are elected or appointed for their own acumen, prudence, and interest in serving the public. When council members are denied access to the very professionals they themselves have hired, it's no wonder things can become such a cluster, mess, whatever. I am shocked by the DCA's decision, knowing that this council has found getting answers and numbers for this budget akin to nailing Jell-O to a wall. That our access to our professionals has been limited to weak answers from a volunteer, that we have not received one email with answers or explanations, not one from the CFO we hired. I would suggest the DCA endeavor to set guidelines set by those towns for paradigms of success and put in place a set of required documents for review for councils in order to make informed decisions on the budget. Perhaps maybe penalties for administrations who cannot prove they have started the budget process early and who do not introduce the budget on time. As I stated previously, the information we have received has dwindled from spreadsheets we can manipulate to do simple math with to just 2 PDF documents. and one is 82 pages. Have you ever attempted to analyze an 82-page financial document done in a PDF? And all along, the numbers have changed. If the DCA would like to fine this very conscientious council for doing its best in the name of transparency, then so be it. I would suggest the DCA needs to change its guidelines on what's expected from an administration made up of professionals paid to give us answers before it imposes fines regarding what is expected from the people who volunteer to serve people. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other comments?
I was wondering if we can have a workshop, if we do introduce the budget between now and the adoption.
No, this is comments on the introduction of the budget. It's not, if you want to make comments on the introduction of the budget, that's great. But I have a motion that's up to vote.
That's a question.
It's part of the discussion, Mr. Mayor, so we can have discussions.
I'm discussing it. I know, we talked about having contact with the CFO in between, and I did not hear a response. Did you get a response, Council?
Nope.
Then Weber. Okay.
Well, the answer, no.
You have to understand, when I first became a councilwoman, I went to newly elected, and they said to me, the most time you're going to spend is on the budget. It starts in November, you're going to meet with department heads, and it's going to be the biggest job that you have. I don't think we started this process until March, and I was not included in any of these discussions. And this has not been inclusive, this has not been teamwork. We've had some new developments, and I do think next year looks brighter already, but this is not the way things should be run. It's very, very disappointing. Anyone else have any comments or questions?
I'd like to comment, I think a workshop would be great, Jane.
Thank you for commenting on my.
Thank you. Okay, the motion is up for the introduction of the 2024 budget. And it's been seconded. Erica, could you take the roll call, please?
Mr. Noble?
Without a workshop or any kind of contact with the CFO, I cannot say yes to this, I'm sorry, and the answer is no.
Mr. Gubatose?
I so much want to say no, but then I just keep getting stuck in my infinite loop that this never ends until we're all dragged off in handcuffs. So I'm going to vote yes, and I'm going to be very prepared to have a very lengthy discussion in front of every resident that wants to participate, approximately 30 days from this introduction, should we introduce. Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
I think introducing the budget is the only way we get this over the goal line. And I will tell you that so much time goes into writing these emails and putting this analysis together every week. It's painful to look back on all the emails and try to put all the documents together, especially when you ask for documents and you don't get them. It will be so much hard work to put together all the questions that we're going to have for the CFO. But I look forward to putting in that work, and it's a good thing I'm not employed, so I have plenty of time to do it. So I vote yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yeah, you've heard this said a lot up here, that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, and some of us decided that that applies to us too. So we are never going to get a different result unless we're doing something different. But please take note, we are the ones deciding to do something different, to move the ball forward, to get to the point where we can ask those questions of the CFO. I think there's a really great chance that we could, after that meeting, we still vote no on this budget if the questions are not answered to our satisfaction. So that's not the case, but I think it's a very real possibility. I want to thank my council colleagues for just illuminating all of the things that we've gone through with this budget just tonight and almost every other meeting, of course. So I appreciate you putting in the time on that. I am going to vote yes on this, but again, it's because we're going to get to that place where we can ask our questions, and I appreciate everybody's input, but we're the ones making the change here, and I hope that's noted.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Okay, the rest of this agenda, we have no ordinances, no communications. We have a consent agenda of 3 items. I'll read them. 2024-164, the bill list. 2024-165, approval special Olympics New Jersey to conduct 5K race for Saturday, November 16, 2024, from 10:30 to 12. Pass through only. 2024-165, approval of Bradley Food Pantry to conduct an on-premises 50/50 raffle for Thursday, October 17th, from 6 to 9 p.m. 2024-167, approval of the off-premise license for 2020. I'm sorry. 2024-167, approval of an off-premise license, raffle license for St. Teresa of Calcutta Parish. Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to have the bill list voted on separately. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Great.
So I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda absent 2024-164.
Second.
Mrs. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. 2024-164, the bill list for August 28th.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the
I
bill list.
have some questions on the bill list, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
So I don't know who I'm gonna be asking them of, but I'm gonna ask them anyway. So on the cover page, I mean, maybe this is the case every single time, but it really just jumped out at me. Where it says payroll, the difference between the July 31st payroll and August 15th payroll is, the difference is like $65,000. And, you know, summer hasn't exactly ended. I can't really see what the difference is between, you know, the last day of July and, you know, a week and a half ago or whatever. But, so any info on why there would be $65,000 difference? Like why our payroll would be that different in 2 weeks?
No, but I guess I would say, Councilman, had you asked that question as we've asked you to prior to the meeting, we would have gotten that for you. We'll get it for you after the meeting.
Yeah, I hear what you say, Mr. Mayor, and respectfully, I doubt it because, you know, that isn't always the case. And, you know, admonishing me for my question for the timing of my question, doesn't change the fact that it's my job to ask questions, and I'm asking a question. If I could have gotten it to you before, I would have, and you're not gonna speak over me. If I could have asked it before, yes, you are. If I could have asked it before, I would have. Okay? So I have more questions, so get ready to admonish me again and again on this. So, on page 2, the honor me tree plaques. It's not a big deal, it's not a lot of money, but the note, it says that it's miscellaneous. Why doesn't that say it's for the Shade Tree Commission? Any idea why we charge that as miscellaneous and not the Shade Tree Commission?
No.
Okay. I don't know what page this is one on, but the CIT Bank, it looks like we're paying administrative service, $355. Again, it's not a lot of money. It seems like it's bank fees. On page, that's page 4, towards the bottom, CIT Bank. Any idea what that is?
No.
Okay. Thanks.
I had a comment.
Is that your final comment or question?
Those are my questions on the bill list, yeah.
Thank you. And, you know, you can say that I'm admonishing you, but I would just say that anytime any of the council has asked a question in advance of the council meeting relative to the bill list, I would say 99% of those have been answered to everybody's satisfaction. So I think that just needs to be said. So thank you. Councilman Gubatose, you have a question?
No more of a comment. I know a resident brought this up tonight, and other residents brought this to my attention over the weekend, and I just want to comment on it, and that is the concern about there being, I don't know, $500 or so charge, I don't have the bill list in front of me, related to an introduction to accounting program. And what I've said to anyone who asks me is, I think it's applaudable that an employee for the borough is trying to advance their knowledge, their education, regardless of the, as long as the course relates to the role that they serve the borough in, I personally would be very supportive of that. So I just want to make sure I understand that there's a lot of frustration boiling over on a lot of different topics, but especially as it regards continuing education and advancing your skills as you serve the borough. I think I can speak for the entire council. We're always going to be supportive of that. So I just want to go on the record as making that comment.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I trust you wrote those questions down and you can get the council answers tomorrow for Councilman Weber's questions.
I don't see why not.
Well, I mean, I guess it all depends on if the person who needs to answer those questions will be available to you tomorrow.
I assume they will. I happen to be on vacation, but I'll make an effort to do that.
Thank you.
Okay, make a motion to approve 2024-164.
Second?
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
No, because there's no one here to answer my questions.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Okay, individual resolutions, we have 2024-168 Silver Lake Restoration Team Support. Make a motion to approve 2024-168. Second.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
I have a couple comments I'm going to make in council comments related to this, but for now I go yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
You know, if you think the budget process was long, the effort to restore this lake is a really long effort. And two people that are really integral to it are sitting here today. I don't know if you came just to see this resolution pass, but thank you both very much, Ann Politi and Kathy Martin. So thank you, and I vote yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. 2024-169, adopting the report and findings of the borough's conflict attorney regarding appeal of fire company's member disciplinary decision dated March 6, 2024, and adopting the recommended decision contained therein. Make a motion to approve 2024-169.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. There are no announcements. I'm going to ask Council President DeNoble to take over at this point. It's 1 a.m. where I am, and I'd like to get some sleep. So, Council President, if you could take over, I'd very much appreciate it. Thank you all.
Okay. I'm gonna just move over.
Get near the gavel in case you need it.
Okay. All right. So, let's go on to the mayor and council reports. Would anyone like to go first?
I'd like to go first.
Councilwoman Mahoney.
I'm gonna go first because mine is quick. The Land Use Board met on August 15th. A third one-year extension for the proposed mixed-use building at the Auto Tech site on Main Street was approved. A request for the demolition of a 2-story bedroom cottage and the construction of a 1-bedroom garage apartment on 4th Avenue was carried to the September meeting. The Environmental Committee will meet on September 9th. Here they will discuss the Adopt a Dream program and the upcoming Fall Beach Suite. That is my report.
Thank you. Councilman Weber.
Be happy to go. All right, thanks, everybody. And sorry for raising my voice before, but you know what? I'm feeling your pain as far as getting spoken over while you're speaking. I want to congratulate the people that are going to be on our ballot in November. People in this community, some in this room, that stepped up and talked to probably don't either because you live here, but, just letting you know, if anybody asks. I too went on vacation, and, I went before the famed August 13th meeting with, Local 152, and I thought I'd come back and we'd have something solved, and that's not the case. So that saga continues, and that's, a bit of disappointment to me, but, at least the meeting happened and they agreed to meet again, as far as I know, which is pretty good. And I have been up here for like 8 years, and, you know, they haven't come to every single meeting, but the borough administrator, whoever they are, they tend to come to the meetings unless there's some extenuating circumstance why they can't. So it may be accurate to say that they're not required, and I'm sure that's true. Just making an observation that all those previous BAs came when they weren't required to. Okay, so I'm going to do the fire report and then switch to my phone and give you the first aid report because that's how they came in. For the month ending July 31st, fire department responded to 6 day calls and 9 night calls. 9 were for fire alarm activations, 3 were for natural gas leaks, 1 was for a first aid call, lift assist. The department conducted 1 training for hydrant operations. The department participated in 2 special events. 1 was a presentation to the recreation campers, and 1 was the fireworks detail at the beachfront. There were no mutual aid requests, and the department fulfilled 100% of their assignments for the operational period. They're still looking for volunteers, and they offer free training to qualified individuals, and you can get information on that through the borough's website. And for the first aid report, is hiding in the phone. Somebody else was on vacation, but they got it into me just in time. So for the period that ended today, the squad responded to 29 day calls, 29 night calls for 57 calls, 38 were medical, 15 were fire calls, 4 water rescue requests from the Answers team, 2 motor vehicle crashes. The squad provided medical overwatch for the Bradley Beach Fire Department, 5K. The squad held 1 drill for the safety and education of the members. On their new suction equipment, this equipment is used to remove fluids from a patient who has a blocked airway. Okay. Squad requested no mutual aid assistance, and squad provided 1 mutual aid to Neptune for a medical emergency. They fulfilled 100% of their assignments. They're still looking for volunteers. Anyone wants to volunteer, applications on the borough website. And they do accept applications for a cadet program, young people from 16 to 18 years of age, if they're interested in serving their community. Fletcher Lake Commission did not meet in August, so that is my report. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Councilman Weber. Councilman Gubitosi.
Normally, I am the liaison to the police department, and normally I lead with a police report. But Chief, I didn't get one this month, so
I apologize, next one will be very long.
I figured as much.
Lieutenant Browning's been on vacation.
Everybody's on
That's okay.
vacation.
Because we are all waiting with bated breath for that next report, so everybody get more comfortable. Next meeting, we'll have a longer one. I'm also the liaison to the Civil Lake Commission, and ladies, that were already recognized, thank you for being here, for your leadership roles on the commission. As many of you witnessed a few minutes ago, we passed a resolution in support of the restoration team that's been working on Sylvan Lake, planning and securing grant funding for over 4 years now. Last week, in the commission's August 21st meeting, the Lake Restoration team members, which include Captain Almajeski, Marty McHugh, and our own Jim Shishius, attended that meeting along with our borough engineer, Ben Matlack from CME. They discussed the great progress being made to involve various private entities as well as state and federal agencies to continue to secure funding for the lake. They also discussed immediate next steps in which the restoration team will begin to spend close to $100,000 of REPI grant funding. REPI, excuse me, I forget what it stands for, but it's federal grants. They have $100,000 of REPI grant funding that they've already secured, and they're going to use that to begin conducting water quality testing in the lake, as well as to begin some engineering surveys and design. And surveys and design relates specifically to how dredging would occur, where dredging would occur, in order to have maximum effectiveness for the health of the lake. This team and CME, and this is really very noteworthy, the team of experts are, if you will, independent. We, the council, voted our support for them, but they are working independently to hire engineers and so forth to help us restore the lake, and largely doing that with grant funding. But what's important is that Ben Matlack from CME also attended this meeting, and the group, including Mr. Matlack, pledged support to work together, because as you're all aware, the borough will at times, Avon Borough as well as Bradley Beach Borough, will at times request funds for, repairing our sides of the lake. It could be a living shoreline on the Avon side. It has been for Bradley as well. For us, more recently, we've got funds that grants have been approved for fixing our bulkhead, which is collapsing. What's important, though, is that bulkhead needs to get fixed in a way that is consistent with the broader design for restoring the lake. So that might mean it's angled a different way, or it's cut in a different way. Whatever it means to the broader health of the lake, Mr. Matlack has said, we're not just going to go, Bradley Beach won't go in blindly and just restore the bulkhead to fix a wall. We'll do it in a way that is aligned with the broader vision for the lake. So that's, to me, that was a phenomenal resolution for the Sylvan Lake Commission. And again, the commission deserves a tremendous amount of credit because it's a commission that represents both Bradley Beach residents and Avon by the Sea residents. I also just want to comment on Local 152 union contract negotiations. Councilman Weber referenced that there was a meeting a while back, a week or so ago, it wasn't very long ago, and we were copied on a correspondence between the union negotiator and the mayor, and the mayor pledged that we would get to yes in that meeting, and if it was needed, we would go, we being the Bradley Beach representatives, would go 3 days, if needed, to get to yes. And apparently they had one meeting and they didn't get to yes, and they decided it wasn't even worth having a second meeting, a second day of the meeting. So I don't know the details, but upon learning of this outcome, I did reach out to our business administrator and I asked, and I probably should have done this earlier, but I asked for a side-by-side comparison of what the current proposals are by broad category. Salaries and wages, we're offering this, the union's offering that. Paid time off, we're offering this, union's offering that, and so on. Because you might be wondering, why am I asking for this? You would think perhaps that the council is aware of what's being offered and what counters are being made by the union. And unless I'm the only one in the dark, I'm pretty sure the council is not being made aware. We've asked in the past, we don't know. We don't know what the specific sticking points are. We'll hear a rumor here and there, but I personally chimed in at one point on one particular issue. I spoke to our attorney, Mr. Bernstein, and Mr. Fehrenbach, our resident volunteer, who are leading the negotiations. And I talked to them about concerns I have with one particular issue being negotiated. And to the best of my knowledge, I don't think they've acted on my concerns. But I think it's time, given we're more than a year and a half into these negotiations, that the mayor and the administration provide greater clarity to this council, the council that has to vote for this contract ultimately. They have to give us greater clarity for the issues that are now being negotiated. And I did ask the VA, that was an email a few days ago. Today she replied to me that the mayor would get back to me. So I did ask, in response, I did ask, when will the mayor get back to me? That was only hours ago, so he's on vacation. So, obviously we'll give this a reasonable amount of time, but we've just got to make progress. It's just not, it's not fathomable that this is dragging on for over a year and a half. And that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Tosi. update on the shade tree. There was no meeting, but they are looking to explore a possible grant that would treat the spotted lanternfly. And they're asking if you have an infestation on your yard or any place that you do know, to please send them an email at shadetree@bradleybeachnj.gov with that location. Tourism. Saturday, the Park Concert Series began in 2019 and has certainly grown in popularity. The Tourism Commission and Director are thrilled at the feedback received from the businesses, the visitors, and the residents. This weekend, DJ J will have his final dance night at the Beachfront Gazebo on Friday night, and then on Saturday night in the park, the series continues with the Eddie Testa Band. Next weekend closes up with Jump Back playing rock, rhythm, and blues. And coming on September 14th, Riley Park will host Viva Bradley Beach. Viva Bradley Beach was created in 2019, and it was put on hold due to COVID and unforeseen circumstances, but it's back with 2 live bands, a DJ, free salsa class, and, did I say salsa? Yes, salsa. And lots of food. The event runs from 2 to 8 p.m., and we hope to see you there, so please mark your calendar, September 14th. 2,575 visits with over 2,000 direct clicks on the QR code that was created this year was to restaurants for takeout, delivery, or dine-in. So that has been a huge success. That was just brand new this year. And the tourism event page has received over 25 visits since June. So all in all, a hugely successful summer. Congratulations to Michelle Willie, the commission, and especially our director, Amy Hall. Well done. Next up, I attended the Board of Ed meeting last week, and the Bradley Beach Elementary School is preparing for another successful year filled with academic excellence and holistic student development. A couple of the highlights for the upcoming school year: phonics program introduction for grades K-2. The dual language pre-K program will launch. The AVID program expansion, commitment to family engagement, student life, community collaboration and student wellness, tuition and space availability. Not only has Bradley Beach become a destination for the ocean and the businesses, it's also become a destination for our school as well. And I would like to thank the Board of Ed, the PTA, the entire staff, and we look forward to a very productive, engaging, and successful academic year. And that concludes my report. I would like to now open up to public comments. Cindy?
Cindy Buchanan, 218 Fourth Ave. Just 2 things. One, yes, all events have been great. It's fantastic. One thing could we just keep in mind possibly for next year of trying our best not to compete with events, because there have been many times, like even tonight, you know, we have a town meeting. It'd be lovely to have more people here, but there's music in the park going on. Same as on, you know, one Friday, we have the DJ, and then we add the band up on the park. So if we could, you know, out of the 120 plus days for summer, do a better job of spreading it out.
Absolutely. Tonight, I did have in my notes, that was actually postponed. It rained on a Saturday, so this was the only night they were available. But I can see, like, I came over tonight, was well attended, because I think people are used to Saturday nights.
Right.
So we try to, you know, get everybody in as well as we can, but they do have to work around
Yeah.
the weather. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
But, and they do collaborate with other commissions as well, and even the BBBCA, they collaborate with them, so they try not to, you know,
Right.
duplicate on the same night. But thank you, you know,
Sure.
well taken.
And just the other point, if by moving this along that you have the opportunity to speak with the CFO, can you please, I'm sure it's not prior to or during that, or certainly before your decisions upon adopting or not adopting that budget, request that all of the members that have been part of that process to date are part of that meeting. Whether it's the BA, the CFO, the assistant CFO, Fahrenbach, the mayor, that everybody here is attended for that, and that actually the extent of that your questions are actually answered, not just the same, you know, yes, we've answered that. is not gonna suffice for Mr. Bartz, knowing that he has to actually give you concrete answers with proof. So I don't know if that can be something you can speak offline to, or demand or whatnot, but at the very least, please see what you can do for that, so that it's a productive meeting.
That is a great suggestion, and it's funny, I wrote down all the names, this, as you were speaking, and I was thinking the same thing, so we're on the same page.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Shauna?
Shauna Greenblatt, 414 Monmouth Avenue. First of all, I just want to thank Councilman Gubitosi and Councilman Weber for referencing the local Union 152 contract. I have to say, I feel like I'm speaking to the choir, and unfortunately, the mayor has left the meeting. And in addition to that, you know, there's a tentative meeting in early August, which didn't occur. And then for the second meeting of the month, the mayor's on vacation, so he left her shy of public comments. Perhaps in the future, consider switching that tentative meeting, having the early August meeting, and if there's, you know, no need to have a second meeting in August. But this becomes very disruptive because there's information that really needs to be addressed that the borough, the residents, the borough is really not having access to. So I'm sorry that I'm bringing this and raising the question to the four of you. I really would have preferred to raise the question to the mayor because he's really the only individual who can actually provide answers other than the BA who is not here. So just driving down the streets of Bradley Beach, we're all very aware that there are two very strong issues that concern the residents. Looking at all the lawn signs, the residents are asking for the local Union 152 contract to get resolved. The residents are asking for movement on 319 Lorraine on the church property. It would have been nice if the mayor, I understand that he is elsewhere and he's 5 hours ahead, it's early in the morning of the next day for him, but to have submitted public comments, mayor's comments, so we can be updated on some of this information, which is really very pressing. This information is second or equal to the issue of the budget, which is very important, clearly very important to the local union contract. So the fact that we are not hearing anything meaningful about where the contract negotiations are going, and Al, Councilman Gubitosi, I appreciate all the information you provided. You shared as much as you know. You know, the community needs to be heard. The local union needs to be addressed. This is just unconscionable that it's now 19 months and they don't have a contract. And this is our coveted DPW and clerical. It's just unconscionable. And 319 Lorraine Church, we understand there was a public auction. We understand there were no bids at all. I do recollect that the mayor had given a very brief update of where things were, but where are things going to go? You know, the community is waiting on information. There was a promise by the mayor that this would get taken care of by September. Now that was very questionable, and clearly it's like it's put on the back burner again, so we don't hear anything about it. So I just wanted to say for the record that I am very concerned, and clearly the residents are very concerned about both of these issues. And this is something that we really need to focus on in addition to the budget, surely, and that needs to be taken seriously by this mayor as the leader of Bradley Beach. I don't know if there's any commentary of my comments from any of you.
I would like to add, I did send an email requesting that we do have a meeting on August 14th, and I understand the mayor has a relative that is suffering from an illness, and I said I would gladly run the meeting. I did not get a response, although Erica did call me and said that the meeting, because it was still showing tentative, so to me, it sounds like it may still happen, and she said she was going to change it to canceled. So I did not get a response, but I did get a response from the mayor as far as 319 Lorraine, because I said, it's been, you know, a while since that auction went on. What's our next steps? What are we doing? What's going on? And he said that we've been collecting information from a number of realtors, developers, and a commercial real estate management company, so that we can recommend a path forward. You, me, recommended, your recommendation of a major lot subdivision right now fits into the feedback we are getting, so I don't think a workshop is necessary. I want to get this on the September 11th agenda, along with the appropriate resolutions to move us forward. I suggested that this go in front of the land use board, and rather than having a builder go in front of the land use board to get the preliminary subdivision approved, because they could say no. They could say, we want to see 3 lots, we want to see 4. No one is going to buy this knowing not what they're going to get. And so I don't know who he's talking to, we have not been included in the process, but I do hope that this will be on the agenda on September 11th, and we'll have more answers on that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, we're trying.
I know.
Thank you. Mia?
I'll be short. All right, Mia Mullen, 302 Fourth Avenue. I went to the Riley Park when they hit the farmer's market. It was about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago now. And when I got there, it was a hot summer's day, but it was just lovely with setups of all the stands, and especially the farmer's market itself with the fruits and the vegetables, all local. But there was nobody there. And so I went home and I checked the website to see if it had been posted on our calendar, and it wasn't nowhere to be seen. And I thought, what a shame, these people all set up and they're ready to go, and there was no highlight on. And I'm probably speaking in the choir here because we don't have a VA here who probably should be managing the website. But some events are not on the website, but it's a new website, so you would think it's up to date, but it's just.
If I may, I can answer that for you, if you'd like to answer that.
Yes.
Okay, so that is run by the BBBCA and not the borough.
Oh, but why wouldn't it go on our calendar though, to draw people to
Sometimes
Main Street?
is it on the calendar?
No, I think it would make
I mean,
sense to.
I thought it was a
advertise
shame,
their
because
event.
I think it's recently added, I think, because I remember approving it, I think in June, and I think they did the calendar earlier in the year, so it didn't.
It's a website though, can't it be
Oh, the web-
updated?
yeah,
Not
I mean,
you guys, but.
The council
I mean, even
actually,
yeah, oh, no, go ahead, I'm saying.
no, the council actually agreed, there's a, you know, a letter of, I don't know, how we work together with various entities, including the BBBCA. The BBBCA specifically had a letter of understanding that the council approved, which said we would work together to advertise their events on our website, our things on their website, so
Yeah, no,
that's supposed to happen as well.
I'm just afraid we're gonna lose those vendors, they're not gonna wanna come back. And it's really a nice thing in town to be able to run up and get a head of lettuce, potatoes, you know, like it was just really nice. We used to have it weekly on Thursday nights, and that went away.
On the ocean?
Well, it was on the ocean when Riley Park was being redone.
Right.
It originated in Riley
Yeah.
Park, and I looked forward to that every week. Wish we could bring that back, but I'm not the one raising my hand to coordinate to bring it back. I would if I knew how to do something like that, but this is a monthly thing, and now that could go away too. It's-
Right. I know Paula Gavin was here earlier, but
Yeah, she was.
I'll
She
give her
left.
the message, maybe the
Yeah,
more.
That's just
you
the
know,
website.
Make sure it's on the
there.
website,
It just
okay.
seems like some things are not there.
I understand, well, thank you for
We
this.
all complain about it.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Meadow?
Nancy Meadow, Ocean Park condominiums. It's my understanding that we have numerous calendars on the website, and we're at our maximum. So BBBCA has to have their own calendar. That's just what I'm hearing from my friend. Well, there's a lot of comments I won't make because somebody's not here to hear them. However, when we skip a meeting, certain things do get overlooked. Like, in my opinion, and from what I've observed, the lifeguard situation. There's actually a mascot on the lifeguard stand on my beach. It is an elephant. It's about 2 feet big at least, and I take that as a nonpartisan thing, quite honestly offensive. I won't even address the drinking issue and what other issues. But, Mr. Gubitosi, I don't know if we're in good company together or bad company together, but I had an incident with the DCA this month. It did not go my way. I found them unhelpful, uncooperative, uninformed. So just making that little contact. Ms. Mahoney, I'm sorry that your name was misspelled. It happened to me actually on a ticket, and I was told that there was nothing I could do about it. So what can I say regarding continuing education? I'm a teacher. I'm all for it, but not at the schooling of the borough. So if we have a policy, we reimburse people. If somebody wants to move up the ladder and wants to take a course, I get it. If you are underqualified for your position, I do not get it. Because you ought to be in the job with the proper qualifications. I recollect a meeting where Ms. Gavin was given the task that she now has, or said to have. She was not given the task of assistant to the financial CFO. My recollection is that she was given the task to enter invoices. It's a big difference. Food pantry is no longer in Bradley Beach. How many years do I say get it off of the website, but have a link? Now we don't even need a link. It's in another town, and yet it's a big thing on the website. You click on it, it's still there. We've moved with all the stuff. That is so inappropriate, especially how quickly that got done, and yet all the other corrections that need to be done on the website are not done. I realize you guys don't deal with this, but we have 4 more months before something's going to change, we hope. We don't know how it will change, but we don't need 4 more months of destruction. So anything that you can do to make things better would be appreciated. I'm glad that it was brought up about the church. I clearly thought it would have been on the agenda. And I think this underscores why the ordinance says we need 2 meetings a month. We still have other nonprofits blurring lines within the borough. I don't remember approving, it's kind of like a free-for-all. I don't remember approving the overdose acknowledgement flags in Riley Park this year. They just sort of appeared overnight. I don't remember approving all of the local summer signs, because I always felt, until others blurred the line, local summer was quiet time for us. It was not to invite others here to make us crowded. It was to reward us for all that we have survived. Because I will say, like, I survived. What, you're disagreeing with me?
No, I agree.
Oh, for once, thank you.
More than once, I'm sure.
You missed some good waves too. It just, and you know, we're still blurring lines, church and state, every morning when I walk. But it's interesting when other people are meetings out there that the religious people are not there. I wonder where they go then during those meetings and how they kind of disappear from the board pub. Very interesting to me. Okay, that's not you guys. Oh, and this is the other thing. Now we're told that, and again, I didn't mention the name, so I'm coming out, that Prime Point is being done by Ms. Gavin. Okay, let me wrap my head around the sequence of events. We had a BA who chose to retain Prime Point because the bank was paying for it. Now we have our employee and Prime Point bills. No wonder my taxes go up.
Wish I had an answer. Okay.
I wish you did too.
I know, I really do.
I wish you did.
Okay, the future's looking brighter though, I hope.
I can't make this up. I'm not that creative. I'm all left brain, no right brain.
I know, I understand. Thank you very much, Ms. Meadows. Anybody else, any comments, questions?
TJ had a question.
TJ? Oh, here he comes.
Thank you. Open public.
Can you state your name and address, please?
Thomas J. Cohen, 612 3rd Avenue.
Thank you.
Open public meetings are a wonderful thing. It's just the sharing of ideas and concepts, and you learn something. So tonight what we learned was that Mayor Fox was holding the 2023 AFS and not getting it to the council. not giving it to the public, not putting it on the website. That is a horrific injustice. Now, the other thing we learned tonight is, with Mayor Fox's comments, is that he referenced bond money helping with the budget. Well, wow, let's just go to our credit card and use that to keep the taxes down. It's fake and it's phony, and that's why you guys have to dive in. That has to be reviewed immediately. My next question I'd like you to look out for is that the 2023 AFS exists somewhere, but we don't have it. And that tells us we don't even know who prepared it. We don't know who signed it. Let's think about that. Anthony Menino was our CFO in 2023, not Mr. Gartz. Is Mr. Gartz signing the document for Mr. Menino? Does Mr. Menino not want to sign the document? Something's wrong. Somebody has to review this. This is not Mr. Gartz's document. He didn't prepare the, anyway, it just goes on and on. I want to know who signed it. And then, in terms of time frame, we were told, an August time frame. Some of the previous commenters said, well, I asked about this and it was a September time. Is it September 24 or 25? We don't know, because nobody is specific in this administrative office with dates, times, anything. I mean, the fact that we don't have the audit is horrific. It was due July 1st. There's no extensions being granted by the DCA. I already checked with that. So where's the fine? Again, I already said that. But, a commenter previous said disruption. And, disruption breeds disruption. And this is Mayor Fox's environment, disruption. We just happen to live in it. Okay? That's the problem we have. I do have one really nice comment, because I want to thank our chief for the new police uniforms, because the new blue uniforms are really classy. And I was really not happy for many years under the Leonard Guida regime, where we had the brown shirts that looked like they were going to Desert Storm. Okay, so thank you for classing up the joint. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have anybody on Zoom? We've not. Nice job.
Wait, Jane, I
Okay.
just want to say, Monday is Labor Day. I'm
Yes.
sorry, I forgot to say this. And I am bringing things over to DPW to honor them for Labor Day. If anyone is interested, they can see me.
Thank you, that's very sweet. Anybody else? Oh,
I just want to say happy birthday, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
thank you. Yes, it's my birthday today. And I'd rather, I would be.
21.
That's me, I can have a drink now, yay. And I'm thankful for you all being here. I love what I do here, and I love serving you, and we're trying our best. Thank you again. Everybody have a great night. I'd like to, what's that? We have to do next
Well,
segment.
They have executives.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Gina, Council President,
Yes.
I want to make a motion. The concern, we do have an executive session planned, but the two critical issues there are things the council's raising for the mayor to address. And without the mayor joining us tonight, and again, he's on vacation, it's not a criticism, other than we didn't know that when we put this on the agenda. I'm gonna make a motion that we table this until our next meeting, this agenda.
I think an excellent point. I'm gonna second that.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yeah.
Mr. Weber?
Greg, I'm just double checking that it's okay that we just skip executive.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Mayor
All
Fox?
comes when you hold it without us doing the process.
Mayor Fox? Excuse.
I'll make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thanks.
All in favor?
I used to be like,
Greg, don't go anywhere, hang on.
Two kids fill out the waiver and I'm good. That's all they do before the end of the meeting. Good job.